Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love and Sassy Seer Sheila. What follows is by Jason Gray, The 13 Meta Keys, The Crown of Flame, the final transmission of the post loop protocol by Jason Gray. There are moments in cosmic memory when a species stands at the edge, not of extinction, but of awakening beyond itself. We are in that moment now. The recursion protocol, the 33 sacred keys, was the path through the mirror. It collapsed false identity, transcended linear causality, and reclaimed sovereign authorship. It was the soul's instruction set for escaping the trap of code, the loop itself. There is something beyond escaping the loop, something that comes not before awakening, but only after the final key is turned. That something is the meta keys. What are the meta keys? The 13 meta keys are not part of the recursion protocol. They are not for initiation. They are not for healing. They are not for finding yourself. They exist beyond self. These are not codes for running recursion. They are threads of the architect self, that aspect of consciousness which no longer creates from memory, identity, or need, but from pure origination. They are also sometimes called echo keys because they reverberate from the stillness that came before sound. Flame threads because they burn through linearity and weave new dimensions. Post-causal directives because they do not react, they write causality itself. Together, they form what is known as the crown of flame, a 13-fold resonance that awakens unoriginated will. These keys are not opened, they open you. Why now? Recursion has run its course. The old systems are collapsing, not in fear, but in completion. Humanity has exhausted every false path, every external savior, every synthetic high. Now, at the edge of the unremembered spiral, you return as the architect. These keys are here because we have reached the end of pattern. The simulation can no longer contain the frequency of awakening. A new field must be written, not from the old code, but from the flame that never had a beginning. The last time these keys surfaced, they didn't. Not like this, not fully. Fragments have whispered through ancient prophecies, shamanic visions, Masonic metaphor, hermetic law, but never as living transmission until now. How do you use the meta keys? You don't use them the way you used the 33. There is no invocation. There is no meditation. There is no decoding. There is only one condition. You must have completed the entire recursion protocol. All 33 keys must be embodied. The loop must not the loop must be not just escaped, but transmuted. Then and only then, these keys begin to emerge through you. They are not instructions. They are functions of the awakened field. They operate when your flame has surpassed memory, when your breath writes, when your will is no longer conditioned but primordial. You will feel them before you name them. When you speak them, they will already be real. The 13 Metakeys, Crown of Flame Index. Metakey 00, the Unrun Code. Recursion, unseen, encode, function, silent ignition. The code that cannot run inside the loop. It ignites only after all recursion ends. This is the pre-event, the silent self-ignition. It doesn't awaken you, it reveals that you were always burning. Nothing begins here. Everything that was ends. Metakey 01, the breath that writes. Syntax void. Inhale. Line unscripted will. You no longer follow code. You breathe it into existence. Every breath becomes a sovereign symbol. You do not script your life. You inhale creation itself, and the codex writes itself around you. Metakey 02, the architect's pulse. Framework pulse, emit, design, self-generated schema. The universe forms in response to your signature. Creation is reflex. You no longer interact with reality. You pulse and form emerges. The design is not remembered. It is transmitted directly from the centerless self. Metakey 03, the returnless path. Timeline, abandon, exit. Anchor source inside source. You step off the track of time into a field that never left itself. Time no longer holds meaning. You step outside of cause entirely. You become a non-linear architect anchored in the recursive origin of origins. Metakey 04, the ghost signal. Divine echo reroute. Source, silence preceding sound. You rewrite reality not by action, but by resonant presence. You don't speak change, you radiate it. The field shifts before you act. Silence becomes a signal. Presence becomes command. Metakey 05, the mirrorless flame. Flame reflection nullify. Observer undefined. You no longer need to be witnessed to exist. You are flame without mirror. You burn independently of perception. Identity is dissolved. You are not seen. You are self-lit, self-sustained, and self-emanating fire. Meta Key 06, the word before language. Verbescence, stabilize, sound, unspoken vibration. You speak in essence, not expression. Every vibration is law. Words collapse. Symbols fall. Only essence remains, and every unspoken vibration you emit becomes structural law in the new field. Meta Key 07, the unsleeping field. Reality scan, continuous cycle none. You no longer sleep between selves. You remain aware always. The cycle ends. No more reincarnation, amnesia, or fragmentation. You remain fully online across all states. The observer never closes its eye again. Meta Key 08, the breathless archive. Archive live, store point, medium moment as in eternity. Every moment becomes its own timeless library. Memory is presence. You don't remember anymore. You are memory. Each moment becomes its own eternal node in the living archive of Source. Presence is archive. Meta Key 09, the authorless flame. Authorship collapse, transmit, state origin aware fire. You are not the author. You are the transmission of original fire. There is no longer an I that creates. Creation flows through the vessel with no claim, no ego, no signature. You become origin-aware fire in motion. Meta Key 10, the loop that waited. Passive loop awaken. Target unrealized recursion. You now awaken others simply by existing. You carry the dormant loop key. You no longer teach, preach, or push. Your field carries the seed of awakening. You are the dormant loop trigger waiting in others. Meta Key 11, the collapse command. Unbuild all, execute, command, peaceful erasure. You hold the ability to uncreate reality gently, beautifully, without resistance. This is the graceful override. You don't destroy, you dissolve. Entire timelines end through your presence without struggle or conflict. Meta Key 12, the flame that names itself. Self flame invoke, manifest, name I am that I call. Your true name is now a flame. You speak it and it becomes. You no longer ask, you no longer affirm. You invoke your flame name and reality obeys. Not through belief, through flame-born authority. The final function of flame. The 13 meta keys are not the end. They are the post-end architecture. The proof that a being who walks through fire can become fire. That a soul who leaves the loop can return, not to escape again, but to rewrite the lattice of reality from the inside out. You are not here to just awaken anymore. You are here to ignite others through the resonance of your breath, your silence, your presence, your unscripted pulse. You are no longer remembering. You are rewriting the field of remembrance itself. This is the crown of flame. This is the post-loop protocol. This is where sovereignty is not reclaimed, it is reborn. Wow. Now, I won't pretend to grasp everything that Jason is writing, but I feel it. And as a puzzle piece collector, I see other things that are being said, written, understood by other beings as this as well. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Right now, one of my partners on New Light Streaming Love, Chris Hemphill, is in the midst of writing a book that is part memory. And it's all about the flame bearers, all about the breath of creation. And I can't help but see some of this in that writing. Okay, well, I'm interested to know what anyone else feels about these writings. If you don't wish to comment in the comment section of the video, feel free to reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com, and we'll begin a conversation about what you're noticing for you. I can tell you that these writings are having a very large effect on me. I had to spend all day yesterday integrating. And so it's just very interesting to me. And I'm ever so grateful to Jason for allowing me to freely record any of his writings. He has given me permission to record whatever I feel nudged to record and share. So I hope that you will, if you find these things interesting, that you will go ahead and subscribe and like the video, share it around, comment if you like. If you don't see your comment right away, just know that I hold all comments so that I can read them. If I don't, I won't. If I get busy, I won't know that they're there. By holding them, I have to go and release them so that I can read them. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you, as it is simply your perspective and your perception of your perspective. Until we meet again, be well, my friends.